And welcome back. Right now, this is a live look at the Tidal Basin. The sun is out, as you can see, and right now those trees are bare, but very soon they will be filled with blooms. And today we're learning about plans for this year's National Cherry Blossom Festival.
So exciting. It will mostly still be virtual because of the pandemic, but we do have the big news that everyone looks forward to: when to expect peak bloom. And a drum roll now for ABC 7's Tom Rousey, live with the details, and he gets to share some big news tonight. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Allison, how you doing? Well, you are correct. The big news. Well, the National Cherry Blossom Festival, it starts less than 3 weeks from today. As far as peak bloom, the National Park Service is saying as early as 1 month from tomorrow. You can see they got a long ways to go now, but these could be fully at cherry blossom peak bloom.
The National Park Service horticulturalists project that the trees will reach peak bloom between April 2nd and 5th.
Last year, after crowds showed up, despite pleas to stay away, the National Guard was called in to block blossom access.
What we want to make sure is we don't have a repeat of last year. We do not want large crowds down at the site.
The National Park Service says within weeks it will announce whether limited numbers of people will be allowed to the Tidal Basin.
Or is the prudent thing to do just to close the entire site?
2 years ago, around 100,000 people came to the National Cherry Blossom Festival Parade. Now, for the second straight year, it is canceled. But unlike 2020, when the coronavirus was just starting to hit really hard as the festival began, forcing organizers to quickly move events online,
last year was 9 days.
This year, they had time to plan.
We basically took a look and said what made sense, what events should we represent, which events should be canceled, which were the larger events, the parade.
Many events will again be online, but folks will be encouraged to not just watch a screen by flying a kite in their neighborhood or decorating. Neighborhoods that do that the most will get a visit by 10 cherry blossom decorated vehicles. Also, 25 pieces of public art done by local artists will be set up by March 20th.
You can walk on your own. There'll be a map on the website.
And as far as the virtual events, they've got a lot of celebrities who are going to be involved this year, including Drew Barrymore. Also, CeCe Winans is going to sing, Christy Yamaguchi involved, and our own Michelle Marsh will do some hosting duties, as will Allison. You will be a part of it as well. Reporting live along the Tidal Basin, I'm Tom Rousey, ABC 7 News.
One of my favorite events every single year. And I remember last year, Carl, you know, when the parade was canceled, it was such a shocker. And now who would have thought a year later we'd still be talking about this?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Diana Mayhew, President and CEO of the National Cherry Blossom Festival. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon at Studio 801 at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center. And thank you to Events DC for hosting us. I would like to welcome all of you who are joining in, as well as today's speakers, Deputy Mayor John Falchecchio, Greg Odell, Elliot Ferguson, Superintendent Jeff Reinbold, and Ambassador Koji Tomito, who will be joining us with a video message. On behalf of our board and staff, we'd like to take a moment to send our condolences to Mayor Bowser and her entire family at this time. We are here to announce today that the National Cherry Blossom Festival will once again launch the city's much anticipated springtime celebration on March 20th, the first day of spring, and continue through April 11th. In keeping with the festival tradition, we will unite the city and the region, engaging local businesses and restaurants, and we'll be in bloom with pink lighting and blossom decor, including neighborhood porches this year. We're particularly excited to announce a new initiative that will feature the display of 25 blossom art sculptures in all 8 wards of the city and surrounding areas, each creatively designed by individual local artists. As the health and safety of everyone is our top priority, the festival will present innovative, entertaining, and engaging hybrid programming designed to incorporate both virtual and personal experiences. Cuisine, music, visual arts, and much more. From local community experiences to 1-hour nationally syndicated television show presented by Events DC, featuring this year's celebrity appearances and unforgettable performances. Check out the Blossoms Kid page for lots of hands-on activities and fun videos for the whole family, thanks to the support of Chase. We aspire to surprise and delight DC area residents, as well as those who engage from afar. We invite everyone to step into spring, be an active part of the festival, and share experiences via social media, whether flying a kite, decorating your porch, or touring the neighborhood to enjoy the porches or any of the City in Bloom displays. Show off your pup in the festival's first annual Paws and Petals Parade, presented by Mars Pet Care. Enjoy a great meal at the reimagined Pink Tie Party while listening to the performance by Lindsay Sterling and others right from your own living room. Participate in the first virtual Credit Union Cherry Blossom 10-miler. And for those of you who have not been able to get an entry in the past years, this is your year. Take a look at what's to come. Of course, it is through the generous support and engagement of all of our festival partners, sponsors, donors, and other festival stakeholders that allow us to present these programs. This support has been critical, and we are truly grateful how everyone has come together to make this happen and bring that spirit of community pride and sense of hope and renewal to the city and the region once again. Thank you especially to Leadership Circle sponsor Events DC and Amazon, festival host sponsors Chase, Downtown DC Business Improvement District, and Mars Incorporated. Thank you to Otsuka as a presenting sponsor of the Blossom Kite Fly, and thank you to all of those participating organizations for your engaging programs that extend the festival's offerings. Please take a minute to go to the festival's website to take note of all of the 2021 supporters. The government of the District of Columbia is a true partner of the National Cherry Blossom Festival. We would like to thank Mayor Bowser and her team for their leadership, especially navigating through this past year. Thank you also to Chairman Mendelson and City Council members. At this time, it's my great pleasure to welcome you, John Falchecchio, Chief of Staff to the Mayor and Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development. John?
Thank you. Well, thank you, Diana, and good afternoon to everyone. Really want to thank everyone for coming together. We would love to be in person with you all, but we know that we will be soon. So I want to start by acknowledging a few of our partners. All of the work that we do is done in partnership with so many different entities and agencies. So I want to thank Greg Odell, the President and CEO of Events DC, for hosting us today, but for his continued partnership in helping us do events like the Cherry Blossom Festival and more. Also, Elliot Ferguson, the President of Destination DC, for promoting the District of Columbia around the world and bringing record numbers of visitors to us prior to the pandemic, and I know he will once again. And of course, our federal partners like Jeff Reinbold of the National Park Service for all their work and coordination in what's been a trying year, but a bright future. It's also almost impossible for us to think that we are here again at the start of another spring and at the start of a springtime with a Cherry Blossom Festival. Everyone knows that with spring comes the National Cherry Blossom Festival, and while this year it will not be safe for thousands of people to gather as we have in years past, our residents and other Americans can still fully embrace the beauty and rich history of the cherry blossoms. This year, I'm excited that the festival will bring the celebration to the lives and the homes of residents in all 8 wards. And something else I'm excited about is the festival's Cherry Picks program, which is going to be presented by a partner, the Restaurant Association of Metropolitan Washington. This will shine a spotlight on the region's dynamic food and drink options, and I encourage everyone to support the 170 restaurants participating in the Cherry Picks program throughout the festival. The district still has a ton to offer, and we're thrilled to be able to join everyone to commemorate the 2021 National Cherry Blossom Festival. Thank you, Diana, and the entire team from the festival and the sponsors for your commitment to make this possible and support of this iconic festival, which is so important to our city. So with that, on behalf of Mayor Bowser, I want to thank Diana and her team again for all of their work to make us look as good as they do each and every year, and we look forward to our residents and visitors to join us from around the world virtually this year for the National Cherry Blossom Festival. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, for being here today and for your leadership and the guidance to continue to provide to the District of Columbia as well as to the festival. Leadership Circle sponsor Events DC and presenting sponsor of the 2021 National Cherry Blossom Festival Celebration Show focuses year-round on positioning Washington, D.C. as an entertainment and cultural destination. We are truly appreciative of Events DC's continued support and sponsorship over the years. This year, we look forward to a new collaboration with Gather, Events DC's virtual platform that will feature festival programming. Please welcome Greg Odell, President and CEO of Events DC.
Thank you, Diana. And before I get started, I first want to just thank the Deputy Mayor for his kind words, but also for his incredible leadership. And he and the Mayor, you know, we've often said that we've had the right mayor at the right time. And I will say her leadership through these trying times has been incredible, but her strength and her compassion to lead all of us and guide us to what will be brighter days. We couldn't be more proud and thankful. But we also offer certainly our condolences during her time of need, but thank the Deputy Mayor for his leadership as well. So good afternoon. On behalf of our Board of Directors and our staff, we want to welcome you, but we're also very honored to host you here in Studio 801 at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center. You know, Events DC has been a proud Leadership Circle sponsor for the last 10 years. We've basically had a front row seat to all the amazing programming and activities over the years, and we've been very pleased to witness that. I will say this year will be no different. we'll have the opportunity to reach into many homes, but also reach a broader audience, both digitally and also through the hybrid experience that was mentioned by Diana as well. Events CC is proud to present the National Cherry Blossom Festival Celebration, a nationally syndicated entertainment show that will bring the spirit of spring into your homes and across the country. Hosted by actor and talk show host Drew Barrymore and ABC 7 News anchor Allison Starling, the showcase will feature performances and special appearances from singer-songwriter Amy Grant, gospel legend and Grammy award-winning CeCe Winans, and the 2020 American Idol winner Samantha Diaz, just to name a few. The big show will premiere on Event CC's virtual platform Gather on Friday, April 9th, and then locally on WJLA TV Saturday on April 10th. It will also be syndicated nationally throughout the April, May, June months on WJLA TV as well. Gather is just our content website that is designed to innovatively bring the local and community clients and our partners, so we're happy to be showcasing that wonderful platform this year as well. So more special guests will be confirmed over the coming days, so please make sure you stay tuned. Either visit gatherthedistrict.com or the festival's website for the latest details about the celebration show. So now it is my pleasure to introduce my colleague and friend, the President and CEO of a Destination DC, Mr. Elliot Ferguson. Elliot?
Thanks, Greg, and good evening and good afternoon to everyone in the audience. You know, there's an old saying that the show still must go on, and I think a year ago, when we were in the beginning of COVID and not understanding what the impact would be, we recognized perhaps what would happen to our industry at that time, but didn't really realize exactly the overall impact. I'm so excited to see that Diana Mayhew and her amazing team have decided to continue on with the National Cherry Blossom Festival because it's so important to our city. I want to thank Greg Odell and his amazing team, and thank you for the introduction, Greg, to Deputy Mayor Falchecchio, to Superintendent Reinhold, to Ambassador Tomita, and of course to Diana Mayhew for all of their continued support of this amazing event. Now, the Deputy Mayor referenced that normally we host about 24 million people in Washington, D.C., and the National Cherry Blossom Festival for us is really the beginning of the tourism season. We all recognize the fact that this year it's been compromised for so many different reasons, but as I said earlier, the show must go on, and we're excited to know that there will be activities that individuals will be able to enjoy while they're in Washington over the dates of March and April of this year. Typically, the economic impact to our industry is well over $5 billion because of tourism. That clearly has been compromised as everything has come to a halt. But the interest in Washington as a destination continues to resonate. The fact that there are so many things that individuals can do outside and socially distance make us a prime location for individuals that are looking at coming to Washington. And while we realize the celebration this year will be a little different, the reality is that there will be exciting things in which individuals will be able to enjoy when they come to Washington. Here are some of the things that we're showcasing on Washington.org. Our amazing restaurant community is offering spring-inspired dishes, whether it's takeout or limited serve in-house. There are opportunities for folks to be able to enjoy fine dining in Washington. Spring in DC is also the opportunity for locals and regional visitors to take advantage of our waterfronts, green space, parks, patios, rooftops, and of course some of the new exhibits and memorials and museums in which we have in this city. You'll find spring hotel deals and more on our website, washington.org, for those to be able to take advantage of. And you'll also find some of the latest travel guidelines there as well. Looking forward and thinking about recovery, we'll be focused on what sets DC apart as a destination from other cities, including the fact that we recognize over 100 free things that individuals can see and do. And I've already referenced the fact that you can do so many amazing things and socially distance in our city. The National Cherry Blossom Festival for us is the key to helping bringing visitors back to the city. It's the beginning of the season, not only for visitation, but also for meetings. And we're looking forward to getting back on track. Now, the Ambassador of Japan has played an important role in the annual celebration of the National Cherry Blossom Festival. This year, we're privileged to celebrate the 109th anniversary of the gift of trees that have brought so many people to our city from around the world. I'd like to welcome the Ambassador of Japan, Toji Tomita, who is joining us via video message.
Thank you all for being with us today. I last served at the embassy here in Washington 8-9 years ago. One thing I remember about previous Cherry Blossom press conference is that the press is not really interested in what the ambassador has to say. The news of this day is always about the expected date and the duration of the blossoms, and that is the way it should be. Japanese ambassadors are very happy to stand in the shade of the cherry trees. The Japanese cherry blossoms welcome more people to Washington every year than an ambassador could ever meet. The blossoms are very good ambassadors, and they are a symbol of the unshakable friendship between Japan and the United States. What is most different from when I was here last, of course, is the pandemic. And I want to compliment the National Cherry Blossom Festival on its response. French novelist Victor Hugo said that the compliment is like a kiss through a veil. So I guess, considering the circumstances, this compliment could be considered a kiss through a mask. But the festival organizers have done a wonderful job keeping the spirit of the festival alive. Spirit can be as fleeting as a cherry blossom, but from the program you can see that the organizers have managed to keep the spirit alive in spite of the pandemic. After the various hardships of this winter, I think it is especially important that we celebrate the blooming of the cherry trees. It is nice to have something to anticipate, and I'm very much looking forward to this year's festival. I thank everyone involved and my best wishes to you all.
Thank you, Ambassador, for sharing your heartfelt message. And we would like to acknowledge the government of Japan and the embassy for its longtime support and active involvement as we continue to honor the festival's history and roots and the friendship between U.S. and Japan. We greatly appreciate the collaboration with the Japan Foundation over the years in presenting world-class performers for the opening ceremony. We are very excited to announce that this year's opening ceremony will be hosted by Christy Yamaguchi, as well as ABC7's Michelle Marsh on March 20th, which will be live streamed on the festival's website. As we celebrate the National Cherry Blossom Festival and the beautiful cherry trees, we need to pause and recognize the National Park Service for the year-round care of these trees, as well as the year-round partnership in planning for the festival. We are proud to continue the efforts along with the Trust for the National Mall to raise funds to preserve and protect the iconic cherry trees for generations to come. Individuals and companies can endow a tree. For more information about that and how you can help, go to nationalmall.org. You'll be hearing more about this over the next several weeks. Now it's my great pleasure to welcome Jeff Reinbold, Superintendent, National Mall Memorial Parks, National Park Service.
Thank you, Diana, and thanks to Deputy Mayor Felcecchio and to Greg and Elliot for your partnership, not only on the Cherry Blossom Festival, but throughout the year for sure. I'm happy to be here on behalf of the National Park Service and to be part of one of our nation's great springtime celebrations. We're proud to once again be a partner with the National Cherry Blossom Festival in celebrating the gift of international friendship that is the incredible, fleeting beauty of the Japanese flowering cherry trees. The staff at the National Mall and Memorial Parks takes great pride in being the custodians of the 3,700 cherry trees, which are both natural and cultural treasures of our city and our nation rooted in history and tradition. But of course, the National Park Service can't care for the trees on our own. Each year, approximately 90 cherry trees need to be replaced throughout the National Mall. We are pleased that two of our most valued partners, the National Cherry Blossom Festival and the Trust for the National Mall, have teamed up with us with this important task of establishing the Cherry Tree Maintenance Fund that Diana just mentioned. Donations to this endowment ensure the trees continue maintenance and care in perpetuity. Our heartfelt thanks to both the organizations for their continued support of the cherry trees. Every year for more than a century, the blossoming of the cherry trees heralds the return of spring to the nation's capital. This year, the National Park Service and our cherry blossom partners are asking everyone to experience peak bloom virtually, making use of the many online tools and experiences you heard about this morning. It's an amazing way to learn about the history of the iconic Washington institution of the Cherry Blossom Festival safely from the comfort of your home. And working with our partners and in consultation with the most recent guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and local health guidelines, we continue to evaluate what, if any, opportunities will be available to view the blossoms in person at the Tidal Basin. We expect to make an announcement about that in the coming weeks. The National Park Service and our partners, Trust for the National Mall and EarthCam, are also excited to announce ways to safely explore the cherry blossoms this spring. After an extraordinarily popular debut in 2020, BloomCam makes a highly anticipated encore appearance this year. The camera provides a 24/7 live, real-time look at the Tidal Basin, including panoramic views of the white blossoms of the Yoshino trees at the Thomas Jefferson, Martin Luther King Jr., and Franklin Delano Roosevelt memorials, as well as the other sites around the Tidal Basin. Last year during peak bloom, the BloomCam was viewed more than 750,000 times by visitors in more than 160 countries. Elsewhere online, the National Park Service Cherry Blossom website is being revamped for a virtual peak bloom experience, including an online Bloomin' Junior Ranger activities, complete with a virtual Junior Ranger badge, virtual tours of the Tidal Basin, trivia, games, and even a special virtual cherry blossom stamp for the passport to your national parks. And our partners with the National Cherry Blossom Festival will be launching a reimagined Bloom Watch website. In addition to the BloomCam, the site features a new on-demand virtual tour that takes viewers the 3.3 miles around the entire Tidal Basin. It has videos featuring National Park Service rangers who share the history of the gift of the trees, the festival's long-standing friendship with Japan, and the secrets of the landmarks that grace the Tidal Basin area. And my favorite, a 360-degree bike ride experience around East Potomac Park to take in the iconic blooming cherry trees while getting in a great workout. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the projected dates for peak bloom. Defined as when 70% of the Yoshino cherry trees are expected to be in blossom. Analyzing a variety of data, including winter temperatures, forecasts for March, and the current status of the trees, the National Park Service horticulturalists project that the trees will reach peak bloom between April 2nd and 5th. So depending on conditions, once the trees blossom, we can expect 7 to 10 days of blooming cherry trees. Of course, the cherry trees blossom development is dependent on a variety of weather conditions. So we'll continue to monitor the bud development and report back if there are any changes in the coming weeks. And now it's my pleasure to turn this back over to Diana for the closing remarks.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, and thanks for sharing the news as we look forward to this amazing time of the year. For a full schedule and details of festival programs and engaging activities, as well as the most up-to-date information on safety and health guidelines, go to nationalcherryblossomfestival.org. As a reminder, click on the link to the Blossom Watch page to get information on options to experience the blossoms virtually. and also the updates for Pink Bloom as well. Don't forget to visit the festival's online store featuring the 2021 commemorative poster and other items creative from the artwork of this year's official artist, Patrick Guyton. We hope you will join us for this year's festival celebration. Please be responsible, wear a mask, socially distance, and adhere to all health and safety guidelines. As we wrap up, I would like to once again thank all of our speakers and Greg Odell and Events DC for hosting us here today. I would like to give a special shout out to the festival's board of directors for their leadership all year round, and our festival team who works tirelessly, I'm so tired I can't say it, to really make it all happen. We just couldn't do it without them. It's amazing. So I wish they were all here in person. It's very unusual for us to do a press conference like this, but again, it's been great to be with all of you, even if it's virtually. For the media, the festival's electronic press kits are on the website. You'll just go to the press page of our website and you'll get all the press releases from today's programs that were mentioned and other events. So again, thank you all for joining us, and we're here for a minute if you all have any questions. Thank you.